1. We're live. Hello, everybody. This is Patty McGee with the Hydrated Life, and tonight I'm here with Karen Smith from LUV N LIFE on YouTube. I've known Karen for about 10 years now, and we both got into holistics over the last 10 years, just due to reasons to better our health. But I'm a life coach, motivational speaker, author of the book Hope, an Inspiring A to Z Guide for Cancer Patients, Survivors, and Caregivers, and a massage therapist. And I'm a 21-year breast cancer survivor. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And I want to introduce Karen Smith, and she can tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen. My husband, Rick, and I have a YouTube channel called LUV N LIFE. And in that channel, we just kind of do a little bit of everything. We do prepping videos, holistic videos, do-it-yourself videos. So we're just kind of a mixture of everything. So we enjoy it, and I'm just really glad to be on this live.
Tell them a little bit about the book you put together, that it's your own handwritten holistic book.
Yep. I mean, it's not a published book. Basically what I did was, because there might come a day where we're not going to have access to the internet. And I just found it important to have hard copies of everything, whether it's through books or just doing your own research and writing down important things that you need to know. So I just got like a little 3-ring binder, and I would do my research on essential oils and what each oil does. I got, different herbal medicinal teas and what each tea does. Just home remedies for pretty much like your basic ailments that you might get, as far as like sicknesses and how to treat those holistically if you don't have access to medical care or pharmaceuticals.
Yep. And it's nice to have on hand for those emergencies. 1 o'clock in the morning, something happens, or or you're somewhere else. Like you go camping a lot.
Right.
So you could take some of this with you. You're in another state or somewhere else where your doctor's not available, and you don't need to go to a hospital, but you need something.
Right.
So anything you can do to boost your health is a positive, especially in this day and time where our food is filled, with pesticides, and the air is filled with pesticides and everything, toxins and everything we breathe in. So the more we can have on hand to enhance our health,
yes,
is better than nothing. If we think back to what our grandparents used, castor oil and all of those types of things, mercurochrome, all the stuff that we kind of got away from, but now it's coming back.
It is, in a big way, because it was interesting, like when the pandemic first hit and everything was disappearing, toilet paper, food, medicines, the only thing that wasn't in short supply at that time was like the teas and the essential oils. But eventually, like as medicine shortages started happening, there's a lot of people that have gotten into, if I can't get access to Tylenol or Motrin or cold medicine, I need to learn how to make stuff myself.
Yep.
And so a lot of people have really gone the holistic way, which is great.
Yeah. And, if we ever lose the internet, just, on a whim, whether it's the weather or a hack by somebody from another country or something, you have a nice book there that you've written out, that what to do. So, I really encourage people to follow in your footsteps, and, you have a live on it on YouTube, correct?
Yes.
That you show what you have in it and all that. And I highly recommend people go and look you up on LUV N LIFE.
And you can personalize it to your own needs and your family and, what you need.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the benefits of soaking your feet in ginger powder and Epsom salts, because blood flow, when we have our blood flow, it starts out heavy in our heart and pushes down, but we have to draw it really down to our feet, even though it has a pump. So a lot of times if you have cold feet, you can use this remedy to help get that blood flowing through. If you ever notice, where are most of our varicose veins? In our legs, right? The lower legs, the back of the legs, because for some reason it doesn't return and go down as well as when it stays up here in the upper part of the body. So I was working with a shaman after I had the breast cancer. I met a shaman and in Utica, New York, and she noticed my feet were cold, and she said, "Patty, go home, soak in Epsom salts and ginger, and it will warm your feet up." And I did it probably 3 times, and I've never had cold feet since, because I had cold hands and feet on a regular basis, no matter what I did. And so I am a big proponent now of soaking either in the bathtub or soaking your feet in a tub. And if you don't have a bathtub, that's the benefit of just having a little foot tub. It does the same thing. Okay, so you don't need a big, huge bathtub if you got rid of yours.
Nice. I'm going to have Rick try this out then, because he's got really cold feet and he's been complaining about. So this is good to know.
So the ginger soak, one of the things that it helps with is blood circulation. So it helps us, circulate that blood faster. Anything warm will open up your blood vessels. Okay, that's why they say to apply cold first when you sprain like an ankle, because you want to stop that blood flow so it can heal at first for the first 24 or couple hours to 24 hours. But so this helps pull the blood flow down through and around and open up those blood vessels to get things pumping. So it'll help with your circulation, number one. Okay. It can alleviate foot pain, so that if you're on your feet all the time, many people who are gardeners, landscapers, massage therapists, nurses, doctors, a lot of times they'll come into the massage table and they'll be like, "Can you just rub my feet?" Because they're sore. So this is a great way to go home and ask someone to, or do it yourself, to get you the bucket and just soak your feet and let the pores open up and let your feet just heal internally.
Yeah.
So I thought we could, before we really get into all the benefits, show them what they need and how to do it. And then we'll soak our feet while we finish talking.
Sounds good.
Okay. So first off, you need a tub. Okay, Karen's got hers right next to her. I've got mine right here. Dollar store for $1. Okay, that's all you need. This is not an expensive treatment. It's actually very affordable. So you just want that. And then you want to add in your hot water. So you want to have, want to fill your water. Okay. And you want to keep extra water next to you. So Karen has her teapot. I'm just going to put my water in here. And then you want to add a 1/2 cup of Epsom salts. Now, Epsom salts are awesome for your digestion, and we'll get into this, but you want a 1/2 cup. I have stock in Epsom salts. Okay, I buy 24 pounds at a time. I soak regularly in my bathtub. I usually do 2 cups in my bathtub. So I have this big container. It holds a bag. This is what I get. It's Solmo.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I buy 3 of these, have them delivered usually once a month or so. but usually at least once a month. Because again, I use 2 cups in my bath. So you just want a half a cup of your Epsom salts. And I also, for my bath, I don't usually do it for the foot soak, but I'll have Dr. Teal's bath suds, foaming bath. This one's elderberry.
Oh, elderberry is nice.
Yeah, so I love this stuff. So I'll put in a full capful of this along with my 2 cups, and I am so relaxed when I go to bed at night. I sleep so well. And then 2 tablespoons of ginger root powder. Make sure it's ginger root powder. Yes. And, you can get this at a health food store. Make sure it's organic. Make sure you're using, you don't want anything with toxins in it. So
Right.
it kind of defeats the purpose. Most of my water, I should say all my water here, is filtered water. And so you want to put that in there.
Just giving it a quick stir.
Huh?
Just
Oh,
giving
quick
it a
stir.
stir.
Now, another thing that I do to help with the bottom of my feet, since I am a massage therapist, is I get marbles again from the dollar store. So this is a bag of marbles. And you can see I have a whole bag here. And I just add some in. And then you can roll your feet on them, and it will stimulate the bottom of the feet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you get a little added benefit there. And lastly, you want a towel to dry your feet off with. Okay, so we're going to go ahead.
Since this is all about ginger, I figured I'd wear my Oh Snap gingerbread shirt.
Oh, nice.
And it's close to Christmas.
And then you just soak your feet in here, roll them around, and about 20 minutes.
This is nice.
And as the water cools down, you take and add that extra water in there. Mm-hmm. And you just want to roll your feet back and forth, wiggle your toes. Since I have the marbles, I can pick up the marbles with my toes and stuff to get, just a little more added therapeutic benefit to it.
Nice. Okay. And it smells so good too.
Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So Karen, what does a ginger soak do? So it helps our
helps everything. Helps your immune system. Just pulling out toxins out of your system. A good immunity boost, anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Anti-inflammation.
I've got to add some water already. It's a little cool from sitting here. There we go. Now, so it's anti-inflammatory. It'll reduce odor. It boosts nutrient absorption in the body. Okay. Great for your skin. Epsom salts can be an exfoliant, detoxifying, removing any toxins that you have. It can enhance your lymphatic system. Most of us don't even know that our lymphatic system is probably the most important system in the body.
Right.
But we don't ever use it properly. We don't get it going first thing in the morning, and it doesn't have a pump. So you really have to get moving, bounce on your toes, moving up and down stairs to get that lymphatic system going. So,
and were you the one that had told me also, like you can press down like here or under your
yes,
also?
Yeah, right here, right in the center. This push downward.
Yeah.
Right here. Every morning before you get out of bed, you should do that. Now, I have no lymph nodes in my right arm. So I have to, for 21 years, thank God, I've had no lymphedema. And I've really had to be careful with this arm. No squeezing of anything. So I have to keep that lymph fluid moving because I don't have anything to filter out any toxins. So if I got an infection in this arm, I would have nothing to fight it off with. So I have to be extremely careful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Also, ginger is good for your digestive tract as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
The antioxidants, it combats oxidative stress, neutralizes any harmful radicals in the body, promotes longevity because it's moving the fluid, the heart pumping it through there, pulling it down.
It's kind of interesting because I don't want to call it a burn, but I don't really know how else to say it. But it's like my feet just kind of feel like there's like this nice, warm, healthy burn to it, you know?
Tingling sensation.
Tingling, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's awakening all of your nerve endings that are down there in your feet. That probably,
Yeah, it feels nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a very nice. It'll help with muscle soreness. The Epsom salts and the ginger together will help with that. And so for me, let's talk about why we got into this holistic medicine. For me, when I got diagnosed at age 39 with breast cancer, I couldn't take the post-cancer drugs. They made me suicidal and severely depressed,
Wow.
And I had 2 breakdowns. One was pretty major, and the second one wasn't as bad, or the first one wasn't as bad, but the second one was really bad. And I asked my oncologist, what can I do so I never, like what are my chances that this cancer is going to come back if I don't take these drugs? Because they want you to take them for 5 to 10 years.
Right.
And she said 3 to 5%. And I said, I'll take my chances. So I knew I had to find a way to keep myself healthy, even because a 3 to 5% chance, you don't know,
Right.
may not sound like much, but when you hear those words cancer, you and I knew I wanted to do everything I could. I wanted to watch Dylan graduate from high school, hopefully get married someday. And hi, Michelle Hartman.
Hi, Michelle.
And she loves your shirt, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
So I just started researching everything on the body. So I got into juicing. That was the first thing. I started with green juicing, and then I went to hot water and lemon, and just kept looking up anything to help that was holistic. And then I started exercising because I had let myself go after the chemo. When I was so depressed, I gained 60 pounds. And it almost gave me the license to eat whatever I wanted because I didn't know if I was going to live or die. Even though the doctor said I was fine, how do you really know? So I was like, I'm going to eat ice cream. I'm going to eat pizza. I'm going to eat, and I was a heavy drinker at the time. So I was like, I got to stop this. And I was blessed. I worked at a chiropractor after I went to massage school, and a personal trainer. She was a Christian, and I quit drinking, started going to church. And just over the years, especially these last 10, I've just taken it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
What got you into it?
Pretty much the pandemic. But I was thinking about that earlier, and I was like, I said, I was surrounded by all these wonderful women like yourself and Michelle and Anne and Roseanne and Charlene that were all into essential oils and healthy eating. And at that time,
Tell us about your snack drawer, Karen. I forgot about that.
My snack drawer at work looked like a convenience store. Okay. I mean, the snack drawer was this big and it was not healthy. But yeah, so like all you guys are into your salads and I was into my Reese's Buttercups, but I would say like I got into it when the pandemic hit and also after I read the book 1 Second After, which is just about like an EMP hits the United States and then all of a sudden the communication gets knocked out, electricity, there's food shortages, nobody can get a hold of their medications, especially like if you're a diabetic, especially type 1 where you need insulin and it has to be refrigerated, and how just without refrigeration, these diabetic people were passing away. It was just like a really eye-opening book. But yeah, it was just.
What was the name of it?
1 Second After. It's a novel. It's a 3-book series.
Okay, I'm going to put that in the chat.
Yeah, 1 Second After. It's just, and that's kind of how we got into prepping as well. Just because, like I said, when COVID hit, like toilet paper disappeared, everything just like went, food and medicine, and I was just, it was really eye-opening. And so I learned that like our medications are made overseas in China. Like none of our medications are made here. So if there's a disruption, with outsourcing, our to get our meds, that's when you should be getting into essential oils and holistic and knowing what's growing in your backyard and things like that. So you can use that to your benefit.
Yeah, if China gets mad at us, right?
Yeah,
we're in trouble.
we're screwed.
We really are. Yep.
Yeah.
And so,
but I mean, I'm not against, medicine and, I still have Tylenol and, Motrin and things like that. But still, I mean, I want to make my own throat lozenges and things like that and cold medicine and using honey. I mean, honey, you can use medicinally for everything. An open wound, you can put honey on it. I mean, it's got a lot of healing properties to it.
And it has a long shelf life.
Yeah. And yeah, it never expires.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of it. And, there's so much we can do to take back our health.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say health, it's not about being fit. Many people associate the two or think that fit is like, you have to be this person that runs or goes to the gym 5 days a week and all that. And that's not the truth, but you have to feel healthy and fit. Smoking cigarettes, drinking a lot of alcohol, overeating. There's nothing wrong with having a few extra pounds on you in theory. Okay.
Right.
I look at myself with the chemo and the radiation. I had some extra weight to lose so that, it helped me during that time of going through chemo and radiation. But, if you're 100 pounds, 200 pounds, even I didn't like myself at 60 pounds overweight. But there's a difference between being healthy and fit. Okay. Because even some of the most fittest people aren't healthy. Right. I remember one of my personal trainers, they ate licorice, ice cream, and Lucky Charms cereal. Oh. So, yeah. So they were fit, they were muscular, but were they really healthy? No, right? So there's a difference between building muscle and being healthy. So, and longevity comes, I haven't found anything really in any of the research and readings that I've done that make a difference in somebody who lives to be 90 who's overweight and somebody who's fit, at the right weight, and they don't live that long. So we don't know when our number is going to be called, but you got to feel healthy for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do I follow Europe's healthcare instead of the United States.
I was just going to say that. That's why I found it interesting during our last conversation that you said that you follow, their healthcare system rather than the United States.
Yeah.
And
in researching people and some of the healthiest people and their protocols, we're the worst country with our food.
Yeah.
Other countries do not allow all these toxins.
It's actually banned in their countries.
Yes, it's banned.
Yeah.
And I started following some fitness people over in Europe, and I was amazed at what little ingredients were in their protein shakes and in their foods and stuff like that. And I was like, there's something to this. And then Dylan went over to play in a Call of Duty tournament over in Germany and England, London. And he's celiac. He's full-blown celiac.
Oh, okay.
And so his digestive tract, he can't eat, wheat and gluten and all that kind of stuff. And over there, he had no troubles.
Wow.
And
interesting.
Yeah. He was like, Mom, it's completely different. Their foods are healthier than our foods. They're fresher made than our foods, and I was like, wow. So I really started researching over there, what to make here for us and try and get the best sourced foods. And that's when I started buying the grass-fed beef.
Yeah.
I used to alone eat a quarter cow a year.
Wow.
But my body craves the iron from red meat. So it's some kind of deficiency that I have. Ever since I was a little girl, I had the whooping cough when I was in first grade. And I missed 3 months of school. So I started taking antibiotics then.
Okay.
And we didn't know to take probiotics an hour after back then. We didn't know, what it was doing to you. So, and then I was a sugar addict on top of it. So if I got a penny, a quarter, a dime, I ran right to the candy store by my grandmother's house, and I spent every cent that I had. So I had this sugar growth in me. And after I had the chemo, I'm into not a lot of quantum physics, but I guess you would call it quantum physics, for the purposes that after I had the chemo and radiation, one of my coworkers at the recreation department went to try and stop smoking. So she went and they put her last cigarette in a pack on this tray, and she literally quit smoking like that, on this thing. But she came back with this report of everything. She wrote it all down and stuff, what she got from it. I was like, oh man, I got to do this. I got to try this, So I went after I had the chemo and radiation, and all my life on the instep of my feet, I had a rash. They said it was athlete's foot. We tried every topical solution, every prescription solution. And the doctor's like, you're an athlete, your feet sweat. That's what it is. So, you believe them, right?
You believe them, yeah.
My parents didn't know any different. I didn't know any different. So I go to this lady to do biofeedback, because that's what it was called. And I filled out the form. I didn't put that on there because I had enough other stuff from the chemo and the radiation. And I had lost my hair. I lost all my nails on my fingers and my toes. And I was a mess. So the last thing I thought of was the rash on my foot. And we were going through everything, and she goes, do you have a rash on your foot, on your feet? And I'm like, yeah, I've had it my whole life. She goes, stop eating mushrooms and cheese. You're allergic to them.
Wow.
And I ate a lot of it. I loved cheese on everything, and I loved mushrooms. So I was eating them all the time. As soon as I stopped, cleared up. Haven't had it since.
Isn't that something?
Just from this biofeedback where she put a band around my head, bands on my wrists, and bands on my ankles. and she told me my vitamin D was low. So I went to my oncologist. I said, you need to test my vitamin D. And she goes, why? I said, well, I went for quantum physics, and the lady told me it was low, that I need to get on it. And she rolled her eyes.
Yeah.
And, because doctors don't want to hear something from somebody else. And I get that. I understand that. But so she goes, I don't think so, but, we'll do a test. And this was right before vitamin D came out, like in full force, that everybody was deficient in it. Right.
Right.
And so my blood work came back and I was a 9.
Oh,
I was so deficient in vitamin D,
I think it's supposed to be, I think the minimum is like what, 30, I think it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so she's like, oh my goodness, we got to get you on something for vitamin D. So they put me on 80,000 units once a week.
Wow.
And then daily, I was taking, I think 1,000 at the time. And now I take somewhere between 2 and 5, depending on how I'm feeling.
I take 5.
Yeah. And, depending on my endocrinologist, they're like, get off of that much, it's going to build up. And, but I know my body, and that's the key. You got to know your body. I do not ingest things well. I absorb them well. So I know I have to have a higher dose just to get more absorption.
And that's like the problem I see like at work when I'm doing medical coding is, there are patients that tell their doctors, I know my body and this is not working. And some doctors will listen to it, and then others are just like, they just brush you off. And I don't get it. It's like, why do they do that?
Yeah, I had a doctor with my thyroid. I said I wanted the THS, the T3, the free T3, and the T4. I said, I want everything tested. He goes, no, I just came back from a conference and TSH is right. I said, no, I want all of it. I said, my insurance will cover it. You will do it for me. Yeah. And he did, but unwillingly he did. And
you have to be your own advocate, because
I learned that.
You have to. And it's like, don't force me to be rude, but if you're not going to listen to me, then.
Yeah. And the doctor that I have now down here, she's phenomenal. She spends anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half with me. She knows me, she puts the time aside, she listens to me. And that's what you want somebody to do. And she's willing to do things. She's willing to allow me to try holistic things first, and so I'm hoping that the country starts moving in that direction more, where we're told to eat more fruits and vegetables. We're told to do things, and we can get healthier that way. But it's been quite the journey.
Yeah.
For me.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've come through a lot.
I mean, I went from drinking 7 days a week to, quitting and, eating healthy and turning my life around after the cancer diagnosis.
Nice.
And just seeing the world in a whole nother way. And, sound and vibration and I have a Healy that can test things inside of me by just putting it in the palm of my hand. It's a little device, and it tells you how you're literally feeling, like mentally feeling.
Wow.
And it's pretty cool.
I don't know if you guys can hear some background noise, but Santa is going up our street right now. They have music blaring with the.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you can hear that in the background. Santa's up our street.
So we kind of got away a little bit, but I wanted to talk about precautions because there are people that should not soak their feet.
Right.
If you're a diabetic, okay, and you have neuropathy, if you can't feel the heat of the water, if you struggle with that, test it with your fingers, with your elbow. Make sure that you're not using water that's way too hot for you to soak your feet in. That's number one.
You'll come out
Okay.
with burns. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do not want to get burnt where you can't heal from it. So make sure if you're a diabetic that you have peripheral neuropathy that you check with your doctor before doing any foot soak. And you should always check with your doctor first before doing anything.
Yep.
You know, people with eczema, psoriasis, and other skin conditions should consult their healthcare provider also. Just so you're not doing any more damage to the skin. Okay.
Right.
Even though it's a holistic treatment, there still are side effects for
Yep.
people. And,
absolutely.
you know, make sure your blood pressure, if you're hyper or hypo with blood pressure, make sure you're checked to make sure that it's, opening up the blood vessels isn't going to cause more harm than good. Doing it 2 to 3 times a week, is healthy. You don't have to do it every day. There is a doctor, was it Dr. Gundry? He's a heart doctor. I think it was him. And he's, after I had the chemo, I got toenail fungus really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been able to get rid of it. So for 21 years, I've never been able to, I've tried everything out there except for they won't give me the prescription medicine because I don't have any lymph nodes. And because my immune system is compromised. Still, after 21 years, they won't. So, and I'm okay with that because I really don't want the medication. But,
Right.
But when you're self-conscious and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say it was Dr. Gundry, but I could be wrong. So I've been researching what are some natural ways, and I've tried everything under the sun. Well, a few weeks ago, I was on one of his sites, and he came up, and he said to soak your feet every night in Epsom salts for 15 to 20 minutes, and then put clear mercurochrome on there. So I've been doing it for 2 weeks, and what a difference already.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see, hopefully by summer, that I can actually put on a good pair of sandals and walk around and not be self-conscious because, that's my goal. Is if I can break free of this, it would be wonderful. So these foot soaks, I'm adding in the ginger with the Epsom salts is an added benefit to pull the nutrients down into the feet.
Right.
So, what else?
Also, I mean, think about how much money you're saving because you go to these health spas and they do foot soaks as well. I mean, I know you get the extra like little leg and foot massage and everything, but if you're supposed to or want to do this 3 times a week, and you're going to a health spa paying anywhere from $30 to $50, that adds up. So think about how much money you're actually saving because there's a whole bunch of different foot soaks you can do, not just ginger.
Yes. Right.
So you're saving a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah. Your tub costs you $1 from the dollar store. Your marbles are $1 from the dollar store. So your Epsom salts, you can get 8 pounds for $5.
Mm-hmm.
2 tablespoons, or a half a cup will last you, a couple of weeks doing that. And then your ginger powder, the same thing. If you go to a health food store, it's not that expensive.
Yeah, I think I got this for like I think $7. I mean, and that's and we only used 2 tablespoons tonight. So
yeah. So yeah.
Well, what I wanted to ask you as well is, those you plug it in and you put it in the tub. It's like the ion.
An ionizer. Yep.
Yes. What's your opinion on that? Do you think they work? 'Cause I always hear mixed reviews like, oh, this is detoxing your liver because it's, orange now and then it's blue and then it's black. And what's your opinion?
I don't have much experience with that. I'd have to see it. I'd have to buy the supplies and try it at home
Try
to
it.
see if
Okay.
it changed. Because I don't know if it's the treatment that they're using. Is that changing the color? You know what I
I've never
mean?
had one done.
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah. Our friend Annie, she used to go for them all the time.
yeah,
Same thing with the patches on the bottom of the feet. I've heard more negative reviews than
yeah,
positive, that they don't work.
right.
I trust when I look for studies, I try to go to Canada to look for studies because they do study everything over there and I trust them. It's sad to say that I don't trust the research in the United States at all
Right.
because too many people have been paid off
Yeah. Very crooked.
to fudge through the
Mhm.
research here to get their product through.
Right.
So um, I really look outside. I look at the other countries to see what they're
Yeah,
doing
'cause they
because they
don't
don't.
have diabetes, problems and obesity problems and all these, cancer issues and stuff. The other countries don't. So
Yeah,
they're obviously doing something right. And the
yeah.
United States is just money hungry.
Well, that and we want the quick fix. We want
Right.
everything quick. We don't want to. We don't want to put the time in and the effort in to cook and to bake and you
Right.
know. What was I reading about something? Um, oh, that McDonald's. There's a somebody told me they worked for a fragrance company, and there's a fragrance that our fast food places put into the meat to make it smell the way that it smells,
Oh,
so that we are attracted to it. I'm like, are you kidding me? And they're like, no, no. And
that's awful.
each fast food has their own special fragrance that they use. I was shocked by it. It's an oil.
That's
And
disgusting.
yeah. And
Yep.
I was like, that's yeah. Somebody that I massaged at where I work was
Yep.
telling me. One of my
No wonder people
clients.
are sick and kids are
Yeah.
sick and have the issues that they have.
Yep. And I used to love a 2-all beef patty, but not
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And
I liked the Junior Whopper from Burger King, but I haven't, we've stopped eating fast food. We never ate a lot of it, throughout our
yeah,
lives, but now we really just don't
yeah,
eat anything. We stay home and I cook and bake and
yeah,
at least I know what's going in our food.
yeah. Yeah, when I worked at the chiropractor in New York, the very first one, he took a McDonald's hamburger and fries, a plain one, and put it on his counter for 2 years, and nothing, no
No
bugs,
mold.
no bugs came around it, and no mold. The bun just got hard. It shrunk down a little bit, but nothing major. And the French fries, same thing, no mold, and no mice came out to eat it, no bugs, if no fruit flies, nothing. And
But
part
we'll
of it,
eat it.
was because of the amount of sodium that they put in
Right.
the meat to
Yeah.
preserve it. So that was the main thing. Once people started showing their studies online, the companies started going a little fresher. So, but they still
Not fresh enough.
not fresh enough for me. But some people live on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was craving a burger yesterday, so I went over to our local Kroger, and they usually have a display of them. They got them all pre-made up with cheddar
Yeah.
cheese or bacon or whatever in there, and they didn't have any. So the lady was just coming on, and she goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Give me a pound of your Angus beef there." And I said, "You don't have any pre-made burgers?" And she goes, no, I noticed that. I said, no, I got to go home and make them myself. And she goes, well, I can go make them for you if you want me to. I go, no. I said, I'll add some onion and stuff to them when I get home. I'll season them myself. I said, but that's the type of society we are, right? That we want everything made for us. And where's my burger? I wanted to come get one patty, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, we get that way, you know. Same thing with pumping gas and everything else. So we really need to, you know, slow down, take care of our health, and kind of change our priorities where work's not our main.
Right.
And life is, you know, having fun and enjoying people.
Yeah.
Is
You
our
gotta love
priority.
life and just, you know, relax and, you know, do what you gotta do, but have fun. Disconnect from the news and all the garbage that's out there. It's important to know what's going on, but sometimes you just gotta disconnect in order to reconnect.
And the medical system is not our enemy. I don't want, you know, we've talked a lot about that tonight. We want to make sure that we, what's the word? Mention that, you know, there's some great doctors out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's up to you to advocate for yourself. I think I posted the other day that when blood work comes back with something in it, that's not the first sign of illness. It's the last one. It's been building and you haven't been, you know. So, but there's some really good doctors out there and you just have to seek them. And always get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. Yeah, I mean, I love, I mean, our healthcare system, it's broken, but there's still very good doctors and nurses and, you know, that will take care of you. And like you said, that aren't totally against holistic ways. If you want to try it, you know, you just have to find those doctors. So.
But the best way to be healthy is to advocate for yourself. Like you got to go out and research online what you want and what you need and look at your food and read your labels, and you have to take charge of it. You know, the one thing that we do is we take that little pill because it takes the onus off of us. Oh, the doctor said take this pill, so I don't have to worry about anything anymore. I get up. Okay, let me go about my day. I don't have to, you know, if I'm a diabetic, I don't have to watch what I eat. I don't have to, you know, because now I got something that checks it for me, you know. Okay, I'm good to go. But you got to look at yourself.
Right.
And if you can lose the weight, lose the weight. You know? If you can get off the alcohol, get off the alcohol, the drugs, whatever it is that you got to fight for yourself for, you know, because that is your responsibility. It's not your doctor's responsibility.
And some complaints that I always hear from people about like the essential oils and doing things holistic is, oh, that stuff doesn't work. And I was one of them. I was just like, that stuff doesn't work. You know, I'm not going to, you know, go that route and stuff. But you can say the same thing about pharmaceutical meds. You know, they have hundreds of blood pressure pills and diabetic pills. And what works for one person is not going to work for the next. And it's the same with essential oils and holistic medicine. You know, something might work well for me, but a different herb would work better for you. You know, it's all in finding what's going to work.
Yes.
You know, so holistic medicine and essential oils, they definitely do work, you know, and they also have side effects, like you mentioned earlier. But it's the same thing. We're all different. Our bodies are all different.
Yeah. Before I take any Tylenol or aspirin, and I don't even have it in the house, I had some because I had COVID and I had to take some when I had that. But normally I don't have, I will take magnesium to relieve any headaches or muscle aches before I'll take any over-the-counter medications.
Yeah, don't take magnesium on an empty stomach. I did that once.
Yeah.
It took me all day to recover.
And check with your doctor, you know, before you start any supplements or anything, because you got to know where to get your supplements and you got to trust the companies and all of that, because they have done studies that like multivitamins and stuff do not have the ingredients in them that they say they do.
Right.
You can go and Google any CNN or NBC, ABC to see what they got tested, and the results are horrendous of what you think you're getting and you're not.
Right.
So,
and also, that those, the medicinal herbs and everything that can also interfere with the pharmaceutical meds that you are taking. So you always have to check with your doctor. Can I drink this tea, if I'm on this blood pressure medicine?
Yep.
It's you still have to check with your doctors.
Yeah. After I went through the chemo, they came out with a study that said green tea interacts with chemo. Now here I had drank it through the whole thing. So, I didn't have any trouble, but, they were like, you got to be careful. And I was like, well, thank God I didn't know it then, because that was all I drank back then.
Because everyone says green tea is healthy, and it is, but it can still interact with certain, medicines.
Yep. So, but let's recap a little bit. We're talking about being healthy, but mostly ginger foot soaks to help improve your digestion, to help improve your heart, to pull the blood flow down to your feet, to help dilate your blood vessels and get rid of cold feet if you have cold feet or cold hands, to get that blood circulating. What else, Karen? Detoxify you. And if you want to start a foot soak after you check with your doctor, get a tub from the dollar store somewhere for like $1. Then ground ginger root, 2 tablespoons.
And a half a cup of Epsom salt.
Yep, and a half cup of Epsom salts. And then get as warm of water, hot as water as you can stand for your feet. Do not get it too hot where you're burnt. And if you're diabetic, have neuropathy, please do not soak in hot water, okay? Because you will not be able to feel if there's a burn, and if you get a sore and it won't heal properly, it could be damaging to you. So check with your doctor before you start anything. And then just soak your feet, have extra water in a pitcher next to you that you can continue to add to it. And just soak, for up to 20 minutes. We've been soaking about 45. But
actually, I took my feet out probably like a good 20 minutes ago, and they're completely dry, but it just has that nice, warm, tingly feeling. I love it.
Yeah. Yep. And you'll feel it throughout your body, especially tonight when you go to bed. You're going to feel very relaxed, very calm. There's a lot of,
my feet would be cold right now, but they're not even cold.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
So, do it whenever you feel like you need to, but hopefully you'll see a difference in your metabolism moving forward as your body starts to change, and it'll help keep your feet warm throughout the day and night as you do it. I don't know what I did with my towel. I know I have one here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It fell down. I've been soaking mine. Just keep adding more water. I won't have to take my bath tonight.
Nice.
But I always take a bath before bed, pretty much 4 to 5 days a week. It's soothing. And I'll fall into a deep meditation for 45 minutes. And it's just beautiful. So.
Nice.
But
one more question for you because there's so many different essential oils out there, like brands. You have Young Living, Cleganic, and some other ones. What brand do you recommend? Because it's kind of interesting. Like you'll take, like I have This is Eden's Garden ginger essential oil. But like you'll have, and I'm just throwing prices out here. These aren't actual prices, but let's say you have ginger essential oil from Eden Gardens and then ginger from Young Living and other ones. Like Young Living will be like $30. This will be like $15. And then you have like, one that's like $5. And they all say, USDA organic and approved. And how do we know which one is better? Because the prices range are ridiculous. They can go from $30 to like $6.
Look at where they're growing the plant. Okay. If it's organic soil, real organic soil. Okay. Most of your people have to go overseas to find soil that's never been treated with chemicals. We don't have a lot. Now, Young Living does have some here. doTERRA, who branched off from Young Living. Okay. I have Young Living. I have, being down here, I have some other different ones. People have given me some. The one thing you want to be careful of is make sure it's a pure essential oil and it's not like for a diffuser that's just for aromatherapy. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 different ways we ingest stuff: orally through our mouth, inhaling through our nose, and application on our skin. If it tells you you can't inhale it or you can't orally ingest it, why would you put it on your skin?
Good point.
Okay. Your skin is the largest organ of the body.
Right.
We rub lotions on it all the time, oils on it all the time. So you want to look at the ingredients. Okay. So if they tell you, you don't want to be able to go and eat everything, but think about that. If you can't eat what you're putting on your skin, it's still absorbing into
your system. Yep.
Okay. And quickly.
Yep.
Okay. So you want to look at that. Look at where they're growing the plants.
Okay.
Okay. If you're unsure, the pricing, obviously it goes to say for anything. If you buy a $10,000 car versus a $30,000 car versus a $60,000 car.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Get what you pay for.
Yeah. Look at why they're expensive. Okay. Young Living is a MLM. Okay. I've been part of it for years. I'm not in the LMN part of it. MLM. Same thing with doTERRA. Okay. But there's many people that are. So in order for us to make money, it has to be higher up. Okay.
Right.
Versus somebody that just sells it in a health food store.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So there's different aspects that you want to look at on what you're getting. I wouldn't buy some from like your local grocery store.
Right.
Your local pharmacy. But we have Sprouts here. They've got some good brands. There's stuff all over the world that's good with different pricing. So I'm not going to say one's better than the other.
Right.
I
just always found it interesting the price, the difference in price, and I never knew like why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a correct statement that the people who started doTERRA branched off from Young Living, so their product is a little cheaper. Okay, they got the benefits of Young Living. They created, they sell at a little cheaper price.
Gotcha.
So is one better than the other?
Right.
They just have the benefits of learning from Young Living. Okay. And most people stay true to their brand. Okay. It's kind of like when you find a good massage therapist. You stay with that person until they die or move away or whatever, The same thing with your doctor. Once you find somebody that you love, you stick with them. So find something that you believe in and stand on your belief for it. Okay. So I don't want to say one's better than the other.
Right. No, I just wanted your opinion.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it's good for the
if you're
viewers.
buying a $5 oil, I wouldn't buy a five. Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not true, because your lemon oils, your citrus oils usually are cheaper. Your lemons, your oranges, they're even cheaper through Young Living. They're only $5 or $10, or they used to be. I haven't bought them in a long time. I've got so many here that I probably have enough oils to last me the rest of my life.
And open up your own store.
Just from all the free product that I got from me buying and people buying and stuff like that. So, so those ones are, yes, but you have to know how they're made and
where they're grown.
But even so, I ran out of Young Living's lemongrass one time. So I always soaked in lemongrass and ginger in the tub. And I always added 5 drops of ginger and 12 drops of lemongrass in my tub soak. Okay. When I ran out, I went to a health food store in New York and bought some lemongrass. I added the same amounts. I had my Young Living ginger and I had their lemongrass. I burnt my inner thighs.
Oh, wow.
Even in a full bathtub of water by using the same drops. So theirs was stronger, or it wasn't a true authentic oil. Okay. So that's where you have to be careful to make sure it's apples to apples.
Right.
So I learned a really big lesson from that. Start out smaller, because you don't know, and make sure. And I bought them from a health food store. So, it's not always apples to apples. But it's up to you to do your homework. Don't rely on Karen Smith or Patty McGee or whoever. We're just here to give you information, what we've learned over the years, what we're doing with our lives. And, if you want to try it, but you take responsibility for yourself, knowing your health and where you're at.
Because your body is different from mine and yours. And
somebody might not be able to handle 2 tablespoons of ginger.
Right.
Okay. It might burn their feet. Okay. So a half a cup of Epsom salts might not affect you and me digestively, but it may affect somebody else. Might give them the runs. So that you have to know your body. You got irritable bowel syndrome. You obviously don't want a real big digestive issue, So know your body, always start out with less and add more as you go along. But for the typical person, 2 tablespoons of ginger and a half a cup of Epsom salt, you should be able to handle it.
Yeah.
But again, we tell you, check with your doctor. Make sure you get medically cleared. If you're diabetic, have neuropathy, do not use hot water. Pregnant. Yep. So, but it was a pleasure.
This was so much fun. We got to do this again.
Yeah, we do, because there's so much to talk about in life in general, and just use it as a platform just to educate people on different things they can do with their health. And, I'm working on an exercise book for, I call it for the lazy person. The person that doesn't want to go to the gym, the person that doesn't want to, get sweaty and all of that, but needs to shore up some areas and make their body feel better.
Nice.
Because that's fun. Thanks, Michelle. We love you too.
Love you.
Thanks for staying on with us tonight. But yeah, so, what else do you have going on? You ready for the holidays?
Yeah. Yeah. We just keep it simple and quiet. We usually just do dinner with my parents and my brother and his wife and exchange a few gifts and watch a Christmas movie.
Yep.
So no traveling.
Yeah, I'm not either. Dylan will be back there in Florida right now.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was a pleasure. We'll be back together.
Yes.
I'm Patty with the Hydrated Life. This is Karen with Love and Life. And, that's what life's about, just loving it, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Taking it
The bad and the ugly.
Yep. And learning how to manage through the ugly.
Yes.
Stay
absolutely.
positive and all that. So everybody have a blessed night, and we'll be back together soon. Check out our channels on YouTube, Love and Life and The Hydrated Life. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias. Karen's only on
just
YouTube. But I'm on TikTok as The Hydrator. Patty McGee Official on Instagram, and just Patty McGee on Facebook. So, and Mama Theory on Twitter.
You're a busy woman.
Yeah, I try to stay on them all and just help people. That's what it's about.
You are a wealth of information, Patty. You're amazing.
You can help. Thank you. If you can help one person, with their life, to if somebody's got cold feet and tonight helps them, and they're like, oh my goodness, or sore feet or inflammation, and it's helped them. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. We're here to help others, not just ourselves. So
exactly.
Well, everybody stay blessed. Have a great holiday season, and we will catch you on the next live.
All right. See
Have
ya.
a good one. Yep.